Your Coca-Cola bottling company congratulates the lunar astronauts. There is, however, just one little thing you should know about.
I've been doing the character now for 20 years. The audience knows him as well as I do. They would know in a second if I did something inauthentic, and they'd call me.
The art of the globe is second nature for the man of the world. Our Martha Teichner is about to visit.
How you doing, buddy?
Tell me this isn't
Brought you all your
exactly
favorite
what you'd
candies.
imagine the workshop of some crazy Victorian genius would look like.
Come on, Lloyd, you gotta get over her. Mary Samsonite was just a girl. Besides, she's married. And even if it had worked out, would you really want ginger babies? Ugh, gross. Man, you gotta give me something.
In the era of Google Maps, who makes a living smoothing wrinkles out of a continent or coloring in the coast of Madagascar? Making globes by hand was pretty close to a lost art. Decided to give his father one for his 80th birthday in 2008 and couldn't find any worth buying.
So I kind of thought, I've got a few months spare, I'll make a globe.
You thought it would be easy?
I thought it would be really easy.
Wrong.
2 years later, I sold my house, I sold my car.
To bankroll this
Absolutely.
globe?
Yeah.
Lloyd, I got something important to tell you.
By the time he'd gotten one right, he'd spent $250,000 on it. Bellerby had to improvise. He had to crack the mystery of how exactly it was done in centuries past.
From the reenactment of an historical ceremony to a place where history is always being repeated. Here, at a famous North London firm of geographers, 60,000 globes of the world are made every year.
There isn't a manual for globe making. It's the side of actually applying a piece of flat paper to a sphere. That was the struggle.
But there's a set method of world making at these workshops, a complicated craft dating back to 1492, when the first known globe was made. Round a solid ball of wood is built up a hollow shell of stiff paper, which is then coated with plaster. 9 separate layers of plaster are applied, to a thickness of 1/8 of an inch. Moulding takes about 6 hours, and a fine, smooth surface is imparted to the world in miniature. It passes to another department where the covering map is pasted on. Like restoring the skin to a peeled orange, the coloured printed sections exactly cover the surface. But the covering process calls for a keen eye and steady hand. The globes come in a large variety of sizes and purposes, from 1 inch in diameter to 6 feet, and ranging in price from 16 shillings to £1,000. The globe makers have a world market. 90% are made for export. They're printed in all languages, including Russian, and the majority go to schools. From first to last, the complete job takes 15 hours. A final coat of varnish adds a protective shine. Nearly 100 of the staff have been there for more than 30 years. While the rest of mankind does its best to blow the world up, they like building a new one.
Alaska is the first piece to go on every time.
Why?
To work here,
He'll be here for about 15 minutes on that piece.
One piece.
Yeah.
patience is required.
You need to get within about 0.1 of a millimetre.
God is said to have created the world in 6 days. But here,
Try with this one.
it takes at least 6 months.
Just plain water, and then we need to stretch it over the globe. Try pushing the paper in both directions.
Oh, it's
through
hard.
through the middle.
It makes wrinkles.
Yeah.
And how do you get the wrinkles out?
You don't make them in the first place.
The company can make only around 600 globes a year, so a Bellerby globe is not cheap. The smallest, soccer ball sized, runs more than $1,300. The biggest, the Churchill, 50 inches in diameter, more than $80,000. The cost, a function of both its size and the labor required to make it.
This one's taken a year and 2 months.
The Churchill was inspired by globes the same size that General George Marshall had presented as Christmas presents to Winston Churchill and President Franklin D. Roosevelt during World War II. He says he'll only ever make 40 Churchills.
It's wonderful. When it's spinning, it'll go for 2 minutes.
Just all by itself?
Just all by itself.
Wow.
For a globe maker, the map can be tricky.
And even with India, if I sell a globe in India...
What do you do about Kashmir?
The globes and this. What's the common denominator? So, whether it's cars or globes,
Amazing.
Peter Bellerby has made the art of the elegant anachronism his life's work.
Extraordinary.
Wow.
I can't come here anymore. I got kind of a serious medical problem. I don't know, it's just, well, it's sort of complicated. Basically, I'm going to be pretty busy for the next few months. Anyway, you're in good hands here. So, take care, buddy. Lloyd, did you say something? That's it, kid. You can do it. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. Spit it out.
God, yeah!
What?
You should see the look on your face. I got you so good.
Wait a second. Are you telling me that you were faking for like 1,000 years?
Uh-huh.
So you mean that you just wasted the best years of your life?
Out the window.
And you let me come here every Wednesday for like 1,000 weeks. And it was all just for a gag?
Uh-huh.
That's awesome!
I know. You gotta admit, I totally had you suckered, didn't I?
Hook, line, and sphincter.
Oh, it's so hard to hoax it now. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's hard to hoax it now. Baby.
It'd be funny if it weren't so pathetic. No, what the heck, I'll laugh anyway.
Because of this observatory, of how that is happening. It brings together astronomy, which I love and I do.
The command module and the service module had to separate from the upper stage, and those panels would blow off. This is an artist rendering of what should happen. So there's that. The astronauts were performing continuously throughout the mission. They were documenting it, and all of that footage, all of those recordings, they are available for you to hear, to listen to watch. And I encourage you to go do it. If you don't believe we went to the moon, go dive into all that stuff they faked. There's literally hundreds of hours of footage and audio recordings and video they faked about it. And think about how much effort it would take to fake all of that believably. A Hollywood studio couldn't do it. You just have to go actually pull the mission off and film it while you're doing it if you want to have that amount of material. So I really do believe it's just harder to hook.
Oh.